What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video for Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. We are back with another, hopefully very informative video for you. If you do find them helpful, hitting the like button definitely helps. Clicking on the ads definitely help out. If you've won with our money, or if you've won money with our advice, come to the Discord and show the winning lineups and help the community out. So in the description is today's, will be the article, will be the link to our Discord channel where you can come in and we give core plays there. We give other plays there, sports bets. We talk back and forth about all of the content or lineups that you guys may have posted. So come in there, check out the community, trying to make it a better DFS community with your guys' help. I have had a couple people ask, they've won money and they've wanted to tip or donate or whatever you want to call it. So if you are interested in that, instead of doing like a super chat on YouTube, because YouTube takes like 50% of whatever you tip, I have a cash link down below, or if I've also got Venmo or PayPal, if that's something you guys would be interested in. You don't have to, obviously. If you want to email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, and I can give you that information if that's something you want. So if you've been here before, you know the drill. You know exactly what we're going to do. We do it a little bit differently than other ones. Other YouTubers or Twitter Xers or whatever you want to call them give you like 5 plays and go from there. We're going to break down every single game. We're going to look at the bats in the game. We're going to look at the pitching matchups in the game. We're going to check over on DraftKings, see how they've done so far, and we will go from there. So, new things, hopefully to be learned, but hopefully make you a better DFS player. So, that being said, we have 2 giveaways every single day for every video we do. The first one, like the video, be a YouTube subscriber, and leave a comment on the video. Any comment, obviously positive comments would be, positive vibes only, but if you leave a negative comment, I guess that's okay too. But if you do those steps and the video gets at least 50 likes on the video, someone will win a free week of DFS content brought to you by FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. That includes every sport for a week. So MLB, NASCAR, NBA, PGA, NFL when that comes back. So that's 50 likes. 100 likes on a video, one of you will randomly be chosen with the comment picker to win a free month of content. 125 likes is a free year. That is $199 for basically leaving a comment and liking the videos. And if we ever get 150 or more likes on a video, someone will win a lifetime pass. We've had one person win a lifetime pass so far, and that was on opening day. So I want to make that every single day. It's a $500 lifetime pass. The second way to win, be a subscriber, like the video, and comment who is going to hit a home run, what inning are they going to hit it in, and the distance traveled as the tiebreaker. If you get the player and the inning correct, you can email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, with your username from YouTube. I will look and see if that's a winner, and then we will get you set up for the free week. Okay? If you get it exactly correct with the distance, we will give you a free month on top of that. So, what we're going to do is we are using the random comment picker to see who the winner is from yesterday, since we got so many likes on the video. So, this will go out to this person. Now, if I recognize that they have already won a lifetime pass, we will re-roll it. Obviously, you can't win more than one lifetime pass. But we will check it out, and we will see who the winner is. So good luck to everyone. Let's see who's bringing home the bacon with FTA+. The winner is the King Raheem Schwarbaum. 431 feet in the 6th inning was the winning comment. I know they are on the site, so I will look and get you set up for that pass. So congratulations yet again. I believe he won multiple times last year when we had this contest. So it is to the random comment picker gods that he is a winner again. And you can win both times. You can win this. You could win the home run pick. You could check out when we have our NBA content. You can check that out as well. We have contests over there. So anytime we have NBA and MLB videos out the same day, you have 4 chances to win, as long as obviously you're not a lifetime subscriber. So that being said, to also reiterate, FTA Plus is $24.99 a month plus sports betting and DFS. Or we extended it to this Friday because a few people asked, if you sign up for the yearly pass using the promo code MLBVIP, all one word, all capital letters, instead of $199, you get the yearly pass for every sport we offer for $75. That ends Friday, and then it will be gone forever. So giving other people last chance, it's payday or whatever, I didn't ask questions. So if you've been interested in it, definitely check that out. And towards the end of the video, hopefully we can show you everything on the website. If you've never been there before, check it out. It is all in the description of this video. So that being said, we do have 5 early games, and then we have a main slate of 9 games that we'll talk about as well. But I wanted to get into, I cannot wait until we get to the point where a normal Tuesday night, Wednesday night, whatever it is, the main slate starts at 6:05 Eastern, and all of the games are on it. I hate these split slates with a passion, but we're still going to go over them. So we will look at this. So the first game on the slate, Minnesota versus Milwaukee Brewers. Louis Varland versus Jake Junis. Varland's never faced the Brewers before, which I don't mind that. If you've been with us before, you know that I am to the point where I don't mind taking a player who's never faced them before. Will it work out? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's just one of the strategies I like to do because, again, they've only got scouting reports. No one's seen him. So, he'll be a cheaper option on an early slate. Now, what I'll tell you is I saw some of these comments. I saw this comment last night before bed. I'm not going to get everything correct. That's a fact. I'm not going to be 100% correct on everything. I'm giving you my analysis. We've been doing this since 2014, so 10 years. The baseball is my favorite sport. It's the one that I dig into the most. I'm giving you the analysis that you probably don't see on the other sites. So, and a lot of this analysis is behind a paywall. While we do have a paywall, this analysis is in front of you. If this is all you need as an analysis, that's fine. That's it. That's awesome. That's what we're trying to do. If you need a little bit of boost, you want to check out FTA Plus, we're here for you as well. So, that being said, before we actually dig into all of them, I did want to talk about the couple of things. So there's home run ballpark, where there's certain games after simulations that show a possibility of, or a high chance of home runs. So we'll look at that. We'll look at the ballpark factors with rain, wind, and stuff like that, because we do have a couple of weather concerns today as well. And then we will, at the end of the video, after we go over the pitchers, we're going to give you the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. So what we do at FTA Plus is we simulate 20,000 times 10,000 before this video is shot, and then another 10,000 about 2 hours before first pitch for the main slate, and that will give you the updated players. So we're going to give you the top 20 at the end of this with 10,000 simulations. So I wanted to bring that out to you. The other thing is, so looking at the ballparks with projected home run totals, currently projected 32.4 home runs over 13 games for the day. The number one ballpark to possibly give up home runs, guaranteed rate field, the Atlanta Braves, over a considerable number over Chicago White Sox. Second one is Minute Maid Park, Toronto and Houston. Houston getting the slight edge over Toronto, but you can't go wrong with some of those Toronto bats either. Then we got Tropicana Field, Texas edging out over Tampa Bay right now for home runs. American Family Field, which used to be called Miller Park. It's got Minnesota bats over Milwaukee, so definitely look at some Minnesota bats. And then the next one is T-Mobile Park. They've got Seattle Mariners edging out Cleveland for some bats. And then another one, the next highest projected, is Chase Field. The Yankees edging out Arizona at Arizona's own field. So then we look at the ballpark factors real quick. Looking at this, the best chance for home runs as of now, because again, weather will change, wind will shift, and we'll go here. But as of this, guaranteed rate field, Atlanta at Chicago White Sox. The wind is blowing directly out, should be blowing out during this game, and it gets a massive home run boost in this one. The next highest one that is here, it goes all the way to, so that is one. Then the rest kind of, the wind's blowing in, the wind's not blowing where we need. Again, guaranteed rate field has the highest chance for home runs per the weather report right now. We do have a weather report on the cheat sheet, which you can check out. The next one is Chase Field, but the problem is it's a retractable roof. They have a humidor. They can kind of control that. Whether or not that's an actual factor, we can see in that one. The next one is Oriole Park. The wind is blowing in, but again, Baltimore bats can hit pretty well there. Then it is Minute Maid Park between Toronto and Houston, and then American Family Field yet again with the wind blowing out, but that is in a retractable roof, it's a retractable roof, I believe. So there are chances there, but we will give you the home run picks and stuff like that after this video. So, Louis Varland, I'm okay with Louis Varland, but with the home run picks, it's very hard. Again, you got to get creative with an early slate like this. So we've got him. Then you got Jake Junis. 80 plate appearances against, because Junis used to be with Kansas City, so he's seen some of these Minnesota bats. 80 plate appearances, only 10% K with a 405 batting average. I am looking at taking Minnesota bats, and that's what the simulations have so far shown. But if you jump in, I mean, Carlos Santana is 8 for 18 with a double and a home run. That's batting 444. Kepler's 8 for 24 with 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. That's 333. Carlos Correa is 7 for 11 with a double and 2 home runs, batting 636. Byron Buxton, take him while he's still healthy, 4 for 9 with 2 home runs. Those bats, I don't mind. I'll throw in a Willie Castro, okay? I'll throw in Edward Julian. I will take these guys, and I will look at a Minnesota stack early. Depending, normally the optimal stack is usually a 5-2, so you got to find those 5 batters. So Santana, Kepler, Correa, Buxton, Willie Castro. Those are 5. Take out Willie Castro, put in Julian. It just depends on the lineup that comes out for Minnesota. But I do not mind a Minnesota stack early here. Take a little bit of Varland tournaments. I'm not taking Junis. I just don't trust him. And again, like I said, if I were correct in every single game, every single time, I would be a billionaire and I would not have to make these videos. So, I am giving you my opinion. I would love some discourse on here of who other players. So that's another thing. We want to be a great community. If you've got plays that you've been looking at, get those in the chat. Get those in the Discord. We are so thankful when people give their own insight. That brings us to the Royals. At the Orioles, Alec Marsh versus Cole Irvin. Marsh has never faced the Baltimore Orioles before. That scares me a little bit because Baltimore's obviously Baltimore. And then Cole Irvin, 36 plate appearances, a 235 batting average, 25K percentage. Kansas City has been put, I mean, we saw Sunday they put up, they won 11-0 against Minnesota. So they put up runs. Vinny Pasquantino I would look at, definitely. Sal Perez. If you want to get cheaper and like a wraparound type stack, you could look at Kyle Isbell, who probably bats towards the bottom of the order. Not 100% sure where he's batting. You could look at them. You could look at, depending, MJ Melendez is there. It just really depends on who we're looking at and what lineup comes out. So definitely check the lineups out when they get posted, because that definitely helps you out with your stack. Obviously, Bobby Witt Jr. makes a lot of sense too. If you haven't noticed, we also do sports betting. I posted it in the Discord yesterday, but we took home yet again, and I showed you in the video from yesterday, I believe, we took home yet again a round-robin home run pick parlay. Bobby Witt Jr. came through for us with that home run. So always a good time, always a fun time when we all bring home money, to be completely honest with you. Flip side of that, Orioles bats, I mean, Santander, Cedric Mullins, Adley, Gunnar, like you, Westberg, you can't go wrong with some of these guys. They're They bring the bacon themselves. They are one of the best teams right now. So looking at them, probably avoiding the pitching here. Again, though, it's an early slate. You got to get a little creative with your pitching. Then we get the Reds versus the Phillies. We got Graham Ashcraft versus Spencer Turnbull. Haven't really seen much of each other. Ashcraft, 22 plate appearances, 222. Spencer Turnbull, 2 plate appearances, 0. So looking at that, obviously I love to take the Reds when they're at home, but this is more of a pitcher's park, more so than Cincinnati or Great American Small Park. But we're looking at this. If I were to take Phillies bats, obviously Schwarber at the top, that makes sense. Harper against a righty makes sense. You get to Trey Turner. It really just depends on Castellanos. It depends on the lineup that comes out. Tournament-wise, I don't mind either of these pitchers for tournaments. I'm completely okay with that. They're going to be a cheaper option on the slate, and you can kind of, take a stack somewhere else if that's what you're looking for. So when we look at those kind of stacks, we figure out that a main stack is like 1 through 4, 1 through 5. A wraparound stack is like 7, 8, 9, 1, 2 hitter, something like that. I'm looking at both of these pitchers for tournaments. I would look for both of the bats as well. So tournament-wise, pitching I'm okay with, but probably would stick around with the bats a little bit more than what I love. But again, there's not a ton of pitchers that I love on this slate, this early slate. Then we got the Angels at the Marlins. We got two, one of these teams have to win. We got Tyler Anderson versus Jesus Luzardo, the Jesus Lizard, as we named him last year. But Anderson, 32 plate appearances, 200 batting average. But I do like to take Miami bats, righties, against lefty pitching. It has come pretty well. I would still even look at Jazz right there, lefty on lefty matchup. I would look at Brian De La Cruz, Jesus Sanchez. Let's see if had anyone. Josh Bell is a switch hitter. It's only 1 for 10 against him, though. Jake Berger is 2 for 4. So no extra base hits. But I don't mind stacking here at all. I don't mind that at all. And then Jesus Lizard, 26 plate appearances, 167. While they do have some good right-handed bats for LA, Rendon when he decides he wants to play, Trout, Taylor Ward, I kind of like Luzardo in this situation. Only 26 plate appearances. They haven't seen each other a ton. The Angels are already in shambles after having to have a team meeting after the second game of the season, which is a wild statistic, I will say. An absolutely wild thing to have happen. But we look at that, and I'm completely okay with Jesus Lizard here and the Miami bats as well. If you don't want to go with Luzardo, you could look at, the right-handed hitting Angels bats for whichever ones you do find there. Then we've got the final game on this slate early. We've got Andrew Heaney versus Zach Eflin. I cannot believe Andrew Heaney is still. I gave away a file cabinet and I found Andrew Heaney's rookie card at the bottom of the file cabinet, which is hilarious. We look, 38 plate appearances, 229 batting average against him, 26.3 K percentage. I just have Vietnam flashbacks of him pitching for the Yankees at or starting that Field of Dreams game against Chicago White Sox, but the fact that he's turned things around has been wild to me. We look at him, it is pitching in Tampa Bay. He's going up against Zach Eflin. Eflin, 33 plate appearances, 452 batting average. So obviously, that's a small amount of plate appearances for a sample size. I get that for both, but I think I'd still rather take the defending champions, and I would look at Texas bats. But we're going to look at the bats on both sides to see. Maybe you don't want Heaney. Heaney I think will be a cheaper option. I think a lot more people will be off of Heaney and on other ones, so you might get leverage on the field that way. We look at this. Yandy Diaz, 2 for 7, so not much. Harold Ramirez, 1 for 7, 2 for 8, 1 for 6 with a double. Isaac Paredes, 2 for 2 with a double and a home run. So both of his hits were extra base hits. If I were to take batters against Heaney and not take Heaney as a pitcher, I would look at Paredes. I would look at Yandy Diaz. I would look at Randy Arozarena. Ahmed Rosario, I don't mind. Jose Siri a little bit there. But I think I'll be taking some other... I think I'll be 50-50 on Heaney for early. And then Eflin, on the other hand, if you look to see against Texas in his career, not a ton. Corey Seager is 5 for 9 with 2 doubles and a home run, so he sees the ball very, very well out of Eflin's hand. So Corey Seager is one of the top picks there. Again, 10 plate appearances, not a ton, but been pretty damn good during that stretch there. Adolis Garcia, 1 for 3 with a home run. Josh Young, 2 for 2 with a double and triple, so both of his hits have been extra base hits. Evan Carter, 1 for 1 with a home run. I would be looking at these guys. And then you could look at Jonah Heim. You could look, it depends, Marcus Semien. Really the lineup that comes out. But I think if you are taking Texas bats, Seager is number 1. Adolis Garcia is number 2. Josh Young is number 3. Evan Carter's probably 4 for me. And then we can find a 5th one when the lineup comes out there. So that's my thoughts on the early part of the day. Now we get to the main. So looking at the main, we look at this. We do have some weather concerns yet again. As of now, weather concerns for Detroit versus New York Mets, Atlanta versus Chicago White Sox again, and Colorado versus Chicago Cubs again in Chicago, just like Monday's slate. So we look at the bats. We look at the pitching. Love to take pitching against Mets. Mets are going to Met this year in Citi Field. Citi Field is a massive pitcher's park. Casey Mize has not seen 12 plate appearances, 200 batting average. Really hasn't seen. It's probably one person that wasn't even on the team. Okay, it's 4 people. Harrison Bader has 2 of them. DJ Stewart has 5 of them. So yeah, I mean, DJ Stewart's 1 for 4 with a home run. That's basically it. Joey Wendell's 1 for 2 with a triple. So looking at these, I don't mind Casey Mize. Now, I don't know if he's on a sort of pitch count or yeah, he hasn't pitched in 2022. Rehab Tommy John surgery last year. When he was healthy, he was good. We have no numbers to go off of him. During spring training, 2.35 ERA and 14 strikeouts over 15.1 innings. So didn't hit a lot or didn't pitch much in spring training. But as long as he's not on some sort of a leash or a pitch count, I don't mind him a little bit. Now, I don't know what we're going to see out of that. I don't know. He'll be at SP2. I don't think he's your SP1 for DraftKings. And on FanDuel, if you play the single pitcher FanDuel, I would look at Casey Mize as a tournament option there. I just don't trust him enough for cash right now. And then Adrian Hauser, on the other hand, he's had success. I mean, he's only faced 16 plate appearances, but we kind of look at Adrian Hauser. We look at his price. Where is he at? He's down here at 6,800. 4 runs over 5 hits in spring training. Obviously has not pitched yet, so this will be his first pitch of, not spring training. But we look at this. He was serviceable last year. Not huge on our list. Tournament-wise, I'm okay with him as well. Again, you still have Tigers. They are a good team. The players that I would look at, Kerry Carpenter. If you aren't taking either of these pitchers, I would look at Kerry Carpenter. I would look at Spencer Torkelson for sure. Just depending on the lineup that the Detroit throws out there, you could be looking at that. Baez, probably not. Kind of where I'm at in that situation. Couple of Detroit bats. I don't think Detroit's a team that I want to stack. Again, I could be wrong, but as of the making of this video, I'm not thinking of stacking them. Maybe when news comes out later, we do 20,000 simulations. Maybe it makes sense in the simulation. Say, hey, stack Detroit. That's where we'll go with. So in that situation, I think Casey Mize would be my pitcher I would take in this one. I would look at the Detroit bats and probably over the Mets bats. Then we got the Rockies versus the Cubs. We've got Kyle Freeland versus Javier Assad. Freeland, 92 plate appearances, a 352 batting average against the Cubs. And then Assad, 39 plate appearances, a 219 batting average against the Rockies. So we look at this, and we know Kyle Freeland pitched opening day. Not a good opening day against Arizona. We look at this. He lasted 2.1 innings. 10 hits allowed, 10 earned runs against them. Now, when we get, about 10, 15 starts, about 10 starts in, we can kind of see what it looks like on the road or at home. Again, this is Wrigley. The ball can fly out of here. It's called the Windy City for a reason. Kyle Freeland could get absolutely demolished here. We look at him, terrible start to the season. He has a 38.57 ERA. Obviously, it can only go down, but it could go up too. But we look at that, I kind of feel that we want to stack the Cubs in this. And I think this is going to be a very popular pick. So I am completely off of Freeland. Assad, I don't mind because Colorado, they did put up some runs against the Diamondbacks. They did win a game in that series, but I'm still taking the Cubs bats. I'm still taking Assad over them. But let's take a look and dig in what Cubs bats have actually had success against Freeland in the past. Because 92 plate appearances, that's a pretty good sample size. And considering he's given up, barely struck them out, and gave up a 352 batting average, it's kind of wild to me. So let's take a look at the bats. Cody Bellinger, seen him a ton being with the Dodgers. 9 for 26 with 5 doubles. And only 2 strikeouts, batting .346. Dansby is 8 for 18 with a double, triple, and a home run. Only 1 strikeout, batting .444. You've got Ian Happ 3 for 11 with a home run. You've got Suzuki 2 for 6 with a double. You've got Yan Gomes. Love me some Yan Gomes as a very cheap catching option when he goes up against a lefty. And we look at Yan Gomes 5 for 8 with a double there. Mike Tauchman 1 for 2 with a double. And then Chris Morel, 1 for 3 with a home run. Would not be surprised if Chris Morel hits a home run today, and would not be surprised at the end of the day when all of my bets get in for the day that I have a Chris Morel home run parlay of some sort in my bet slip today. So 100% off of Freeland. I'm looking at Javier Assad as a tournament pitcher. I am looking at the Cubs as a stack, probably one of the most most owned stacks, but we could see some more. We could definitely see some higher ones once we do all the simulations and stuff like that. Then we got the Braves versus the White Sox, Reynaldo Lopez versus Garrett Crochet. So we did stack. So this is what we did, and I saw a comment the other day, but opening day I said let's take the Tigers as a stack against Garrett, and they only put up 1. They won 1-0. The White Sox have been bad. They're going to be bad. Reynaldo Lopez actually facing one of his old teams. 41 plate appearances against him, a .216 batting average. I don't mind taking him. I don't know. Let's see. Lopez, he's okay. Open the season as the 5th starter. He went from the bullpen back to a starter. 16.2 innings, allowing 4 runs with 13 strikeouts to 6 walks. So hopefully he stays. Hopefully he's stretched out enough to go 5+ to get us a W. But I honestly don't mind. At the point until they prove me wrong, I do not mind taking a pitcher against the White Sox until they can prove me completely wrong that they're a competent team and they can score runs. So when I look at that, that's kind of where I'm at. So, but you do look, and it is, so Lopez, tournament option because I don't know how long he'll be into the game. Braves bats, you don't need me to tell you the Braves bats, but if I'm here, Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Ronald Acuna Jr., all against a lefty, I'm all in on. Obviously, Matt Olson's a lefty on lefty, but that doesn't really matter. You've got Orlando Arcia, who came through for us on Monday's early slate to help us cash pretty damn good. I would look at Lopez. I would look at the Braves bats. If you want to get crazy, because everyone's going to be on the Braves bats, and you want to get that little edge on the field for tournaments, I don't mind putting in Crochet a little bit. We look at this. He's had a good game against the Tigers. Obviously, the Braves are a better team than the Tigers. He went 6 innings, only allowed 5 hits, 1 earned run, had 8 Ks there. I think he could go under owned. And if you do want an edge on the field and somehow the White Sox put up a couple of runs and Crochet blanks them and the bullpen comes in, you're going to get probably a pretty damn good leg up on the field. But I think all the newer MLB players or DFS players are going to see it's the Braves and go with that. Want to get a little creative, I don't mind Garrett as a tournament option. I think both of the pitchers are tournament options. Obviously, I would favor the Braves as a stack. The White Sox batters I don't want them, but I would take Garrett for a little bit of tournament action, just for the off chance that he goes a complete game or goes 7 innings, 10 Ks, and he's very under-owned. Let's say 7 innings, 10 Ks, and 2 runs or less. I think we'd be in a pretty damn good spot taking Garrett there. You got the Blue Jays versus the Astros. You got Jose Barrios versus Framber Valdez. You got Barrios, 158 plate appearances against the Astros, a 270 batting average, 19K percentage. Now, obviously, when you see it is the Astros, you're like, well, it's hard to want to take a pitcher against the Astros. But they struggled against worse pitchers against the Yankees than Jose Barrios. And they've struggled at home. I think they've lost, I don't remember how many in a row how many they've lost at home dating back to last year. But we look at this. Barrios, we'll look at the bats too, because obviously the bats are there. We know what we're going to get there. But we got Framber Valdez as well. So Valdez, 69 plate appearances against the Blue Jays, 8.7 K percentage, 233 batting average, 11.6 walk percentage. So we look at Barrios here. We find him right around at 7,700. His first start of the season, 1 win. He went 6 innings in that game, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks, a 3 ERA. Respectable numbers. He ended up getting 21.3 fantasy points, which is awesome. That's perfect. His price was 70. So he has gone up 600. So I don't mind that. Then we have Framber, who they've still got him priced at 8. I don't know why he's listed as a relief pitcher. Whatever. We got Valdez here. We look at his last game log. 4.2 innings against the Yankees, 3 earned runs, 6 walks. The walks were there. The Yankees were a patient team, which we're not used to. Framber wasn't used to, and didn't give up a home run, but gave up 3 earned runs. Yankees came back to win that game. So kind of looking at that, his price, I think I'd rather take Toronto bats here. I think I'm off Framber right now. Barrios for tournaments. Framber, I'm off of. I'd rather take the bats in this game. So we look at the bats. So let's take a look at the Astros. If you're not going Barrios and you want to look at the Astros bats, we can see Jose Abreu has seen him being him with the White Sox and Barrios being with the Twins for however many years they were. Jose's batting 300 against him, 18 for 60, 2 doubles, 3 home runs, but does have 17 strikeouts. So he is strikeout prone there. But he's going to be a cheaper option. You got Altuve, 4 for 20 with a double. 3 strikeouts, batting 200. Bregman usually hits lefties well, 5 for 20 with 2 doubles and 2 home runs. You got Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker hits lefties, righties well. It really doesn't matter. I think Tucker actually hits lefties a little bit better. But you've got Tucker 5 for 13 with a home run. Chas McCormick could be a cheaper option in the outfield, 5 for 8 with a double. Jake Myers would be. I don't think Myers and McCormick play at the same time. So if one of those are in, I'm okay with one of them as a tournament option. But are we going to see the struggling Astros at home, or are we going to see them put up a ton of runs, which we're used to in the previous years? I really don't know. Then we look at the bats that make sense. Do we want to look at George Springer against a lefty coming back home to Houston? We could see that. Vlad against him is 2 for 7, but it's still up against a lefty. I would take him. Bo Bichette, if he is if he's healthy to play, 3 for 10 with a home run. George Springer 0 for 4, but again, I would not put it past him to do some things in this game. Kevin Biggio 2 for 4 with a home run. I don't mind him. Justin Turner usually against the lefties, only 1 for 5 here, but I wouldn't mind him against a lefty. That's probably, Alejandro Kirk 1 for 6 with a double. If you're twisting my arm and asking me what Blue Jays bats I would use, would be Vlad, Bo. You could do IKF. I don't know if he's going to be playing. George Springer, Kevin Biggio, Justin Turner, maybe a little bit of Alejandro Kirk there as well. So looking at this, tournament-wise, I'm okay with Barrios. I'm probably off of Valdez till he shows me something else. And I would rather take the bats in this game over the pitching if it came down to it. Then we got the Red Sox versus the Athletics. You got Brayan Bello versus Alex Wood. Bello, 8 plate appearances, 286 batting average. Again, history has shown we want to take a pitcher against Oakland in Oakland. Alex Wood, on the other hand, 28 plate appearances, 240 batting average. Both of these teams are mid, as the kids say nowadays. Could really go either way. I really don't know. But if I were to look, I'm probably taking Bello because he's got a fantastic matchup against Oakland. And we can see what he did opening day. Bello here, splits-wise, He did face Seattle, which is a better hitting team than Oakland. 5 innings, only 2 Ks. That's the problem. He only had 2 strikeouts. So he only averaged 11.7 fantasy points. And what people have asked, what are we looking at value-wise? So basically with starting pitching, you want to look at like around 2.5. So 8,000 times 2.5. That would be basically your target fantasy points. Batters, you're looking about 3.5 or more to get those fantasy points to hopefully take down some sort of tournament. But we look at this, Bayo coming off only 2 strikeouts, but he's got a fantastic matchup here against Oakland. I wouldn't mind him there. Bats-wise for Boston, it's Tyler O'Neill, it's Rafi Devers. I'd rather take Bayo and not really the bats in this one. We look at the Guardians versus the Mariners. Shane Bieber versus Luis Castillo. Bieber, 108 plate appearances, a 235 batting average against him, while striking out 29.6%. Only have walked 3.7% of the Mariners' bats. Flip side of that, Luis Castillo, 60 plate appearances, a 268 batting average, 1.7 walk rate, 20 strikeout percentage. So let's look at what they did opening day when both of these dudes pitched. So we see Luis Castillo is the second highest priced pitcher on the slate at 9,400. So Luis Castillo, coming off 1 game, took the loss in that game. 5 innings, 4 earned runs, did have 5 strikeouts, but only got 8.5 fantasy points against Boston, and Boston's not that good. Cleveland, it's weird to say, they might be a little bit better than Boston this year. I don't think it's going to be too hard to say. He's had success against them before. His price is up there. That does scare me a little bit, was Castillo's price at 9,400. I am scared of that price. I think coming off not a good game against Boston, second highest priced pitcher on the slate, it is Cleveland. I'm a little bit scared of that. Then you got Bieber down here at 8,800. If I'm taking them, Castillo or Bieber with the price difference, I'm taking Bieber. We look at that, coming off 6 innings, 11 strikeouts last week, was against Oakland. Like I said, take a pitcher against Oakland. Okay, so his numbers are a little skewed due to that, but he got 36.5 fantasy points. Seattle is a better team than Oakland, but I still see Bieber with 8+ strikeouts in this one. I would save my money and take 8,800 Bieber over 9,400 Castillo because I'm scared of that. If you don't want to take either pitcher and you want to look at the bats, that makes sense. We could look at the bats. Polanco, 7 for 26. No extra base hits, though. Mitch Garver, 2 for 18. Mitch Haniger, 3 for 12 with 2 doubles. J.P. Crawford is 6 for 9, so he sees the ball well against Bieber. Ty France is 3 for 6 with a double. But that's basically it. I mean, he's got 32 strikeouts and 108 plate appearances. So I do love me some Bieber. And the fact that is not second, like he's not up there in price where he should be, I think I'm going to take the Biebs in this one. If we want to look at the Cleveland bats against Castillo, because I think people are going to be on Castillo because he's the second highest priced pitcher, which this is why hopefully you come here for a little bit better insight than just taking the higher priced guys. Jose Ramirez, 5 for 20 with 2 doubles and 3 home runs. So every single hit against Luis Castillo has been an extra base hit. 3 have been home runs. I absolutely love that with Ramirez here. Stephen Kwan's 3 for 9, so not much. Josh Naylor, love to take Naylor against a righty, 4 for 12 there. So yeah, I don't mind I think Cleveland stack might be sneaky. Jose Ramirez, I would look at Stephen Kwan. I would look at Josh Naylor. I would even look at Will Brennan a little bit as well. So I am off of the Luis Castillo train. I just think it's too expensive of a train right now. I'm on the Bieber train, and I'm on Cleveland as a stack as well. I don't know if you guys have had these, but these are called Poppy. It's a healthy soda. Delicious. No sugar. 5 grams of sugar. I don't know. Water does it, but this doesn't do too bad either. I like the grape. I like this. I like the raspberry. I like them all. They're delicious. They help quench my thirst. Don't have a sponsor, but if Poppy wants to sponsor me, I'm okay with that. Next game, we got the Cardinals versus the Padres. Got Miles Mikolas versus Yu Darvish. Darvish has faced the Cardinals a ton, being with the Cubs. Mikolas has faced 46 plate appearances for the Padres, 15.2 K percentage, so a little bit lower K percentage. You got a 238 batting average there, 6.5% walk rate as well. You've got Yu Darvish on the other hand, 106 plate appearances against the Cardinals, 28.3 K percentage, only 6.6 walk percentage, but a 316 batting average. So let's take a look how these guys did to begin the season. We got Mikolas down here at 6,200. Very cheap. Again, if you want to get crazy and creative, throw these lower end guys down there, except if it's Kyle Freeland, and you're able to build a pretty good lineup when you throw them in there. But we look at this, Miles Mikolas here. One start last week. It was against the Dodgers, so that's not against him. 5 earned runs, 2 home runs, 5 Ks. Didn't do well against the Dodgers. Gets a better matchup, but still, San Diego can hit. I'm probably off Mikolas. He does have a 10.39 ERA. But again, you took a pitcher against the Dodgers. You shouldn't have. And then Darvish on the other hand. We look at what Yu Darvish did opening day. Or he's pitched. This would be his 3rd start because he pitched in South Korea. In that game so far this year, 2 games pitched, 8.2 innings, 1 earned run, but he has 10 strikeouts, a 104 ERA. So he's done pretty well. And St. Louis is St. Louis. They're not good. I'm still taking Darvish here. While his numbers don't look the best, we will dig into the bats and we will see if they make any sense or if they are exactly what they look like they are. So we look at these. Miles Mikolas, giving up only 1 home run. That was to Machado, 3 for 11 with the home run and a double. Tatis is 2 for 8. Bogarts is 1 for 3. Kim is 3 for 6. That's it. Honestly, Mikolas could be sneaky. If you see, this is why I tell you, don't just look a book by its cover. So Mikolas down here at 6,200 against San Diego in a pitcher's park, you could do a lot with this. If you did that, and let's say you went with Assad against the Cardinals, just for instance, you're still averaging 4,600 the rest of the way. Which, if you just kind of look at center. If you look at catcher, Will Smith, don't have to cuss in his records. You could look at 4,400 for Will Smith. You could look at Cal Raleigh, big dumper at 4,200, and you're still under the price of what you want. So these are 2 options. Again, they're not the only options, obviously. But Mikolas might be good. Like, it might be a sneaky option for him. And then we've got the Cardinals bats against Darvish, which I'm not 100% sold on. I still think the Cardinals are pretty bad. You've got Darvish. Goldie is 9 for 31 with a double and a home run, batting 290. Carpenter, 6 for 14 with 3 doubles and a home run. You do have Nolan Arenado, 8 for 20 with 3 home runs, batting 400, so not bad. Wilson Contreras. So this is a kind of another thought that you might not have, but Wilson Contreras was Yu Darvish's catcher when they were with the Cubs. In my mind, that's a plus for the catcher because he kind of knows the mindset of the starting pitcher. I mean, he's only 2 for 8 against him, but use that information, use that knowledge to build. So I do like Darvish because Cardinals are pretty bad this year, but a sneaky stack might be a Paul Goldschmidt, Brandon Crawford, Arenado, Wilson Contreras, or Brendan Donovan or something like that. You might get away with that if you don't want to pay up for Yu Darvish. But Yu Darvish has been pretty good to start the season. This will be his 3rd start while all the other pitchers basically are at, well, I think Tyler Glass now will be at 3 as well. Got the Yankees at the Diamondbacks. You got Nestor Cortez, who did struggle early against the Astros, but held on for the Yankees to claw back into the game and eventually win that game. 20 plate appearances against Arizona, 35 K percentage, so basically 1 start. We'll look to see if it's like 1 or 2 batters. And then Zach Gallen has faced 72 plate appearances for the Yankees, 26.4 K percentage, a 154 batting average. If this were last year's Yankees, I would have Zach Gallen locked in immediately for 10-plus strikeouts. This Yankees team's different. Depending on who's in there, obviously Juan Soto's a hit machine. I think he's batting like over 500 for the year to start the year. Again, it's been 5 games. Aaron Judge has looked a little sloppy. Oswaldo Cabrera has really turned it on. John Birdie is a singles and on-base machine along with stolen bases. If he gets the start, it will really depend. Volpe, if he's healthy and not a tummy bug, he's one that I would look at. Rizzo looks to be hopefully turning a corner and squaring the ball up as well. It's a different Yankees team than it was last year. Like I said, this was last year's Yankees team, especially second half Yankees team. I'm locking Gallen in for 10 plus strikeouts. We look at this, though. Let's take a look at what they did. Zach Gallen is the third highest priced pitcher on the slate, 9,100, against the Yankees at home. We look at this, coming off one win, only pitched 5 innings in that game against, it was Colorado, 1 earned run, and only 3 strikeouts against Colorado. And Colorado's a worse team than the Yankees. 9,100 scares me a little bit. That's a little expensive for me, given that the Yankees team looks way different than what we're used to. And I think you want exposure to a little bit under people. People are going to be on Gallen because of his price. I'm looking at the Yankees as a stack. But then we can look at Arizona bats real quick against Nestor. They love to hit against lefties. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is only 1 for 11, but wouldn't be surprised if he hits a home run. Eugenio Suarez is one I would look at. Christian Walker is another one I would look at. Ketel Marte is one I'd look at. As much as I want to take Nestor, I'm probably off of Nestor. I would look at this game being a high-scoring game. I would look at against each pitcher. Probably don't go with either pitcher, and I would go with bats in this one. So the Yankees bats really just depends on the lineup that comes out. But Soto, Judge, Cabrera, Rizzo, Volpe, just depends on the line. Austin Wells, it depends on who's going to be batting. And then, for Arizona, with Gurriel Jr., Suarez, Christian Walker, Ketel Marte, Perdomo, just depends on the lineup that comes out. Then the final game on the slate, per usual, which is wild, but if you were with us last year, you know that San Francisco loves to not announce their pitcher till like the day of or a few hours before pitch. According to DraftKings, it looks like it's going to be Logan Webb because he pitched on 5 days ago. So from what I can tell, it's going to be Logan Webb versus Tyler Glasnow. Now we'll look at this and just confirm. Overall, Glasnow 44 plate appearances, 135 batting average against him. We look at Logan Webb. I don't like him against the Dodgers. So far this year, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts against the Padres. No decision. 15.3 fantasy points per game, so not too bad. But it's still the Dodgers. I still don't think I could take Logan Webb here at all. And then we look at Glasnow. He is the most expensive pitcher on the slate, 9,800. But the matchup here, this will be his third start of the season. He's got 11 innings pitched so far this year, 8 total strikeouts, so a little bit lower on the strikeouts. But I don't mind taking him against this Giants team who has not had success against him in the past. But if you want to look at the bats that make sense, we can look. 1 for 11 is Michael Conforto. Matt Chapman's 1 for 7. Wilmer Flores has 2 for 5 with 2 home runs, but that's basically it. So I do love me some Killian Murphy, a.k.a. Tyler Glasnow, a.k.a. whoever he was in Cheeky Blinders, a.k.a. Robert Oppenheimer. Check it out. If you've never look a picture of Killian Murphy and look a picture of Tyler Glasnow. Tell me they're not the same person and they've never been in the same room at the same time that I can confirm. So I'm not looking at the Giants bats. I'm not looking at Logan Webb. I'm looking, obviously, the Dodgers bats, and I'm also looking at Tyler Glasnow. So there you have it. That is a long video. They are all this long. They are all this informative. Those would be the ones that I'd look at. So if you want to get for kind of like a summary real quick, I'm off of Alex Wood. I'm off of Freeland. I don't mind Mikolas because he is second lowest priced, and he's actually had success against San Diego, and I think he'll go very under-owned. I think Assad goes under-owned against Colorado. I don't mind Adrian Hauser as a tournament pick. You want to go very contrarian, Garrett Crochet. It's Braves against a lefty, but it could be sneaky. Casey Mize, I don't mind. I'm off of Nestor Cortez. Lopez, I'll take some exposure to for tournaments. Again, Chicago's not very good. I just don't know how far he'll go into the game. Barrios has actually had success against Houston. I'm on him for tournaments. Brian Bayo here because he is going in Oakland against Oakland. I will take him. Then I will take some Yu Darvish. I'm off of Webb. I'm off of Valdez. I love me some Bieber tonight. I'm 50-50 right now on Gallen, but I'm leaning off of using him. I'm off of Luis Castillo. and I am on Tyler Glasnow for pitching. So there you have it. Those are the pitchers. Those are the bats. Now, like I said, we're going to give you the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. These can and will change throughout the day. So make sure you hit our Discord link. Make sure you check out all of the content on the site later on in the day, because these will update with some of the players are projected out. Some of this weather is, very finicky. So that's where we kind of got to wait for the weather too to update any of the news, notes, and everything like that. But these are the top 20 bats as of right now, as of 10,000 simulations. Ronald Acuna Jr., number 1. Number 2 is Justin Turner. Number 3 is Ozzie Albies. Number 4 is Aaron Judge. Number 5 is Alejandro Kirk. Number 6 is Elly De La Cruz. 7 is George Springer. 8 is Vlad Guerrero Jr. 9 is Nolan Jones. 10 is Juan Soto. 11 is Ian Happ. 12 is Yordan Alvarez. 13, Marcell Ozuna. 14, Dalton Varsho. 15, Jose Ramirez. 16, Bo Bichette. 17, Parker Meadows. 18, Matt Olson. 19, Fernando Tatis Jr. And number 20, as of now, Francisco Lindor against Casey Mize. If you need to re-listen to those, rewind this a little bit, write those down. Not the only player pool to use, but part of the top 20 bats that we can look at. So what do we have on the site? If you're still around, MLB player projections, simulations, Vegas, batter splits. We're not updating the batter splits until like a month into the season, and that splits it up between all of the batters and how they do against righties and how they do against lefties. So we can look at that. I could even, I guess, split it up into home and away, but then it gets to a lot of tabs, and I don't know if it's worth it. So you can also find those on the internet too, but we've got them all under the MLB tab. We do have the BVP matchups, so the top BVP on the day. Some people like BVP, some people don't. We give it as an option to use. We got stolen base targets, so anyone that's projected or has a good matchup to go against a certain pitcher and how many stolen bases they've given up in the X amount of time, that is under the tab there. Our cheat sheet consists of cash and tournament plays, usually 5 to 6 plays for each position. And then outfield, we usually have like 10, 11, 12, sometimes even 14 cash and 14 tournament plays. So we've got a lot of players in our player pool. You can match our player pool with the simulations that we talked about, and if they're both in there, good to go. We've got prop bets, what we've already talked about. We've got our DFS chalk. So you want to go position by position. You want to see the chalk. You want to play the chalk for cash. You want to fade the chalk for tournaments. We got ballpark ratings, which we kind of talked about. Umpire factors, some of those times they do come into effect. That is MLB. We have NASCAR every week. We have NBA, NFL when it comes back, and PGA. I'm kind of asking if anyone is interested. I'm kind of watching the stats for PGA. If no one checks, if there's less interest in PGA, we'll just get rid of it. But our main one is MLB, followed by NBA, followed by PGA and NASCAR as well. So that's what I've got in this video. Hopefully you're still around. Hopefully it is very informative for you. Good luck on this slate. And as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace!